white sword. Papa Smitty's already excited. I can tell.
Man, all right. So I order my my ink from Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And it's for my Canon printer, and it's always been good. It's always come from Canon, but the last few times it has not been coming from Canon. It's been like freaking they're like, I don't know. I wouldn't say refurbished, but almost. You know, the packaging is indifferent. What's up? What's up? The packaging is different, and it isn't. So I'm a little irritated with how my prints is coming out because I tried printing out Conquest.
Yeah.
And it's not like what you see.
It's not the quality you're wanting.
Right. So the colors are different. The camera is making it look almost normal, but when I look at it in person,
Yeah.
it's like a little bit more gray. Like the camera is fixing it, making him look more flesh tone than he is on the paper. The paper he looks more gray than I would like. So if I were to show you, let me see if I can go to what we did. All right, so you see how he looks like flesh tone right there?
Yeah. No, I see the difference. It's definitely not as vibrant, that's for sure.
Right.
Even the red, I mean, even the red doesn't pop as much. It's kind of a little muted. So
it is.
Glad to see you.
So I that's kind of got me a little irritated, and I'm trying not to let it ruin my day. But
Ellie's here already.
that's
Man,
where we are.
You got three of the big ones already in here.
What's up? Thank you guys for joining. I'm still working on this sketch, so I don't know if we're going to like finish it today or what. But at the same time, I definitely want Smitty to be able to see, you know,
Some progress, yeah.
what we got going on here.
Yep, and Ellie says now you can't give me shit.
I can't.
And Puff says, "Is that white sword?" And the answer is yes.
At least you know. At least you
That is
know.
correct.
So that's half the battle right there. Thank you.
I tell my son that all the time. I said when I show him a picture and he's like, "Dad, you know I know who that is." I'm like, "Dude, I just need you to say it because you
Right.
know I need to know it looks at least somewhat like the character." So welcome in, Rob.
So, how's everybody doing today? How are you doing, Joe? You good?
Yeah, actually, I'm doing pretty good. So it's supposed to rain tonight again. It was windy and cool today, so my allergies are a little up and going, but I'm not sick or anything. My back's been starting to feel better. I got a little bit further on this Wolverine and Rogue today. So yeah, so
That's good.
I'm hoping that. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me. That Joseph's going to show up. Oh, Joseph just popped in.
You
So, and that's
speak
because
of the devil.
yeah, so Joseph, I'm assuming probably not just myself, but other people was like looking for, you know, like art or whatever it is to help a family member.
Yeah, he sent me the he asked me to donate. I thought he meant like money. Like, are we donating art?
Yeah, it's like I guess it's donating art, and I guess potentially it can be auctioned off. I'm guessing, assuming. I mean, Joseph's here, so if it's art, then my question is how do you want me to get it to you? You know,
Right.
So, let's see. Papa says, I like this D, but I prefer the blown up headshot motif like Storm and Hiska.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot easier. That's a lot easier for me then.
You just got to throw all that work away.
Basically, trying to listen to Joe and be like,
Oh yeah. You're right. You were listening to me earlier.
I was. I said, you
Yeah.
know what? Let me go
Just make
ahead
sure
and
you save
just.
that. I would save that for later, though, man. I mean, just like Ellie just said, because that's too good of a piece just to pitch.
It's not going to be thrown away, but.
Yeah. So let's see. throw the iPad, throw the iPad, throw it, LOL.
Right. Let's see if we can.
Hub said he's doing good. Work was work. A lot of torching holes in sheet metal and welding pipes.
Is that what you do? Like you're what do you do for work?
I'm gonna say he's probably a metal worker, but I mean, we don't know if he does it for cars or for what. So, building buildings or street work or who knows. Welcome in, Nurse Billy.
We gotta rework it.
Yep. Oh. But yeah, it wasn't a bad day today, really. I mean, I had to have a conversation with contractors, that didn't seem to want to understand. Their English isn't that great, but it's whatever. So Joseph says, so I'm streaming on 412, and if you want to mail it, I'll give you my address so you can co-stream, and I'll send the label. If you want, man, just go ahead and on mine, because you already just sent me your address on mine, and the piece that I'm working on right now, as soon as I'm done with it, I'll send it to you. Yeah, and the family member that I think it's funny is because he's up at the University of Iowa, and I'm like, that's like 45 minutes from my house.
Man, and that sucks. So he lost both his hands.
Yeah, dude, could you imagine being an artist and losing both your hands? I mean, I'm not saying
No,
he's an artist, but I mean, just period. I mean,
I couldn't imagine losing both my hands not being an artist. What are you talking
I
about?
know. Well, I
Just
mean,
lose.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't even know if he's an artist or anything or what he does, but I mean, losing your hands is horrible enough, but I mean, that
Yeah,
was. I
yeah, it's
saw okay,
unfortunate.
so when I was younger, I watched this. I worked for AT&T for a while, and one of the things that they had was this old video that was done in the 70s, and it was basically trying to tell you hey, don't mess around with electric. You guys are going to be up on poles. You're going to be close to power and stuff like that. And Joseph says he was a power lineman. Yeah.
Yeah, like he didn't have
And
no choice but to
yeah,
work with.
but yeah, they were just don't mess with this stuff because I mean it's unforgiving and you don't get a second chance with this shit. And absolutely, it's just some of the pictures and the instances that they were showing was just graphic. I mean, they were talking similar to his family member. They showed this one guy who got too close to power and it zapped the crap out of him. And it blew off his one of his foot, blew off his toes. They showed his, what do you want to call it? In the video, his body, because he did not survive, because they were the first day he was in the hospital, they had to amputate both his feet, part of his leg, and then that didn't help, so then they had to amputate everything from below the knees, and then the third day he just passed. But I mean, it's just that stuff is nasty, nasty, nasty.
Yeah, that's a little
At least,
insensitive. So let's kiss
yeah.
his boys.
Oh no, I get it. I'm just saying, I respect people that mess around with that stuff and for a living, because I know for a fact I could not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's honestly, it scares the bejesus out of me. Ellie says my Harley is supposed to be here on April 3rd. That gives me enough time to do it for the artist raid train on the 13th. But yeah, it's one of those things there, especially knowing now he's a power lineman, And I mean, I've done my time climbing poles and stuff like that. So absolutely, like I said, just send me your address. As soon as I get done with this piece, I'll get it in the mail to you.
Yeah, bro. I'm down to do whatever I can for real. And that sucks. I bet the family is, kind of going
Well,
through it right now,
yeah,
huh?
Joseph says, yeah, I'm still worried how much more he will lose. And that's a big probability. I'm not a doctor, but like I said, I know like everything that they were teaching us about like electricity and why not to mess with that stuff. It was just, and it's not like, like, oh, it's like fire, it's going to burn the crap out of you. No, electricity is a whole different animal.
Yeah. Just bear with me, Papa, as I kind of figure out what I want to do. He said, yeah, that's cool and all, but no.
Yeah. Joseph says, yeah, his muscles got fried. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you already have like electricity to some degree moving through like all your nerves and your muscles and everything like that from your brain.
Yeah, but it's regulated.
But all that stuff gets like overloaded and it's. Bob Smith says, take your time. Plus in a blizzard and wet. Yeah, absolutely. That's the weird part is this ice can act as an insulator, but water is a conductor. And Bob Smitty says, I'm anxious to see his blue skin. Okay, can I already yell at you?
No.
Okay, you're doing fantastic. Just keep it up.
Thank you. What do you want to yell at me for?
I'm not going to say anything. I want to see where this is going to go before I say anything.
Then why did you even bring it up?
Because I changed my mind. I decided I wanted to see how this is going to marinate.
You see, and now you just built on my anxiety, Joe.
Nope. What
do you mean no? You can't say no. You create issues and then you want to say no.
No. Joseph says D. Graves is getting so quick with his art, and Joseph also says it's looking amazing.
Thank you. We gotta just finesse it a little bit. So this is like the whole sketch process. Let me bring this straight. So, how's everybody doing today? Everybody except Joe?
Let's see. Well, Thomas Smitty's asking, did you mail Iska?
Yeah. She's in the mail. She was in the mail that next like available day. I don't waste time when I'm sending out the pieces. Have you not received her yet? I mean, I would assume not if you're asking.
Which I think is amazing is that one Miles Morales I sent out. They received that one today, so I was happy that one actually got to its destination because they did text me and said, that it showed up and it was better in real life than it was on the screen. So I was happy that they liked it.
That's always a good feeling.
Ellie says I'm working on my Rugrats cards today, and Papa says not yet. I'm guessing Papa's probably doing pretty good because he's still on vacation, still in Atlanta. I'm guessing.
Are you still on vacation? I think so. I think he might be.
I mean, he was last night. He was last night, right?
Yeah. So, do you want me to have the sword somewhere, or do you just want the bus, kind of like what we've been doing?
Ellie says, be right back. Pop Smitty says, got back home today, but still on spring break. Sometimes that's the best place to be when you're taking a break, is home.
Right.
I don't mind going on trips and stuff like that, but I don't know. I relax a lot better at home than I do anywhere else. Ellie says she's back now.
That was quick.
The compliment says, "Can you do it like this and have the sword showing a little bit? It's not. This is. If not, this is fine."
I can have. So, do you want the sword coming up here, maybe? Or I can. I saw another pose to where he had it in his back.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say resting on the shoulder, but he says, "Yep."
I can do it like this, where it's more of a front-facing headshot, and he's got the. But I can cut it off. I can cut it off a lot. So, do you have anything to say, Joe, that's not depressing for the viewers?
Not really.
Interesting.
Papa Smitty says, "Either way is fine. Surprise me."
Oh no, you didn't. How dare you throw out suggestions and be like, you know what? Just surprise me. You're one of the how at what point did you stop becoming an artist and become a customer? Like this is why you don't do things on live.
I don't know. I did. He says my bad. I know, right? So no, I wasn't trying to be depressing earlier when I was basically telling Joseph I really wanted to find out how to support him. So I didn't think that was a bad thing, but and I thought I had a pretty good day at work. You know, for all I got some great news at work. To be honest, today Joseph says, "Wow, Graves, amazing how you just keep pounding them out."
Yeah, I want to make sure that we get exactly what we're looking for. Bear with me, Pop. I think it's going to be cool. I just gotta make some adjustments and figure out exactly what we're going to do.
So, what I think really helps you out with a lot of this right here is this, because watching you do this reminds me of back when you were on the tubes with Grant, and you guys would do like the 60-second, like, draw certain things in a certain pose.
Yeah.
So I can see like a lot of those exercises like really coming to help you now. Joseph says, "I didn't realize how bad I asked for donations, needed to say for auctions." You know what? It's cool, Joseph. I mean, you said what you needed to say,
I think the cool thing is all the bros seem like we're going to be helping, so.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. It was just like, kind of felt like, I mean, it's one thing I tell you all the time. I love this community. I'm glad you introduced me to it. And, if somebody shows up and says, "Hey, is there any way you can, help out?" I'm like, first thing I thought of was like, how can I? Not only how can I, but how can I not?
I'm not gonna lie though, like I said, when I first saw the message, I thought you meant like donate some money. I was like, oh yeah, I can do that for sure.
Papa Smitty says that symbol on his chest would be cool to be shown. And Papa Smitty says, I got you, Joseph.
I'm sorry, Papa Smitty said what to me?
That symbol on his chest would be cool to be shown as well.
Yeah. I got you. Just let me figure out where we're going here. And then, mind you, I'm still kind of learning what his costume even looks like because I've never drawn this character before.
He almost kind of reminds me, when you look at him, he almost kind of reminds me of like a buffed up frost giant warrior. Just like when the Frost Giants finally sit there and say, you know what, I'm sick and tired of Thor. Let's bust him. Let's bust out a new generation.
I'm gonna have to fix that a little bit, and I know it comes like off of this.
No, this guy here, Joseph, is his name is White Sword. No, not even close, LOL. No. The guy I drew on Saturday was Blue Marble, so maybe you were thinking about that. How did your day go? I know you've got some time off from work this week.
Yeah, so my day was chill, bro. Like me and wifey were just relaxing all day.
Nice.
Hmm.
Joseph says, be right back. I'll message you guys my address.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to save up my time right now from work so that when my girl comes to visit in May, I can take a whole week off and just take it off with pay and just not worry about anything for a week.
Yeah. Do you already have like a plan of what you guys are gonna be doing?
We have a rough idea. I told her, I said, I know there's places, because there's things that she wants to see. She wants to go to Chicago. And so I said, yeah, we can make that happen. I said, when we go to Chicago, because she also wants to go to Chinatown in Chicago. I said, we can go there for lunch. I said, while we're there, I said, I'll take her to the aquarium out there because I've never been to the aquarium out there.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome in, Tamara. There's some other places she's never been to, like Iowa City. I told her, I said I wasn't going to plan exactly what days things were going to happen because that far in advance, I can't tell you what the weather's going to be like. I don't know which days are going to be good for driving. I don't know what else is going to potentially be going on, and I don't want, I don't want her vacation to be like, hey, hurry up, we've got to get to this place.
Yeah.
Because that's not a vacation. Yeah, she wants to go to out in Chicago. They got like this gigantic 2 or 3 story Starbucks. She wants to go there. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Starbucks isn't my thing, but it's hers. So. Triple C is in.
Yo, what up? How you doing, man? You ready to look at some Scribble Scrabble as I kind of figure out this new character?
Custom Cup says, quick, hide your books. He's like, I got my knife.
He's ready.
He's running with scissors.
And give him this gladiator mask.
This helmet kind of reminds me of an alternate universe where I remember reading it. I think in the New Warriors way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Custom Cut says Blue Gladiator. Not quite, but you're close. And in that alternate universe, like it was had been altered by the villain, the Sphinx.
Mm-hmm.
And so like all of the world was pretty much like the dominant society that kind of like flourished everywhere was Egypt. And so like instead of like there being like Thor, instead of Thor there was Horus, and he kind of had like a helmet very similar to this.
Nice. And you said it was in the Ultimates?
No, it was an alternate universe like that that showed up back in the '90s in the New Warriors.
Oh, gotcha.
Custom Cut. This is a character that Papa Smitty's requested called White Sword. So I read like how come the post office is so slow lately, and it said that it's because they're going through like a reorganization of stuff because they don't process mail like to the quantity that they used to, like with individual stuff coming from people's houses.
Mm-hmm.
So now they just want to collect everything and then take it to a central hub and then like sort it from there. So
is that what it is?
That's what they're saying.
They changed the whole process, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. And they said it's like a 10-year thing that they're doing, but like this is like one of the first years about doing it. So it's just, but it's still a work in process. And Custom Cut says blue skin, white sword. That is correct.
He probably doesn't look like him much right now, but hopefully he will soon.
He will.
We're gonna get there. This is what my digital process looks like when I be scribbling.
Custom Cut says that's very cool to see.
Thank you. And his body is he's just out.
Yeah, and he's jacked too. That's for sure.
Okay, that's good to know. We're gonna increase this. So, Pop Smitty, like, what is this guy's? What's his deal? What's he's got? Just the sword? Is that what makes him great, or what is it about him?
Custom Cut says, "Oh wait, Papa's here."
Yeah, Pop Pop is. At least he was. I think he's still here. Maybe. Oh, so I think I might need to just redo this altogether. I'm gonna have it connect in a different. How are we looking over on YouTube?
So far, so good. Let's see. Yeah, there's 3 people, including myself, watching. And Wis Desu says, "Hey man, just passing by. Love the sketch.
Thank you.
Thank you for stopping by." Trying to think, EVU, my retired, says, "Can you make me a profile?" I'm not really sure what that means. Oh, let's see. Pop Smitty says he is potentially immortal, like because he's if I'm not mistaken, he's an external mutant. So like all externals, he's supposed to be immortal. He says he has an army of 100 soldiers that you have to fight before you fight him, and he resurrects them. Yeah, he's like a healer or something like that, right? And then, like, if he resurrects you, then, like, you're kind of, like, mind controlled under his power, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, Iceman joined up. Hey, man.
What's up?
But that sword that he's got, it's called the Sword of Purity. I don't know what's so special about that. I really don't. I know it's, you know, one of those, Swords of 10 or something like that.
It's the Sword of Odin.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. You said it's the Sword of Tanner?
No. Purity.
Purity. I don't know why I heard Tanner. Where did I hear? Did you say that at all?
No.
Oh, interesting. I just be hearing stuff.
Possibly.
You were thinking it, huh?
I probably was. The weird thing is that guy I told you I was talking to just before this,
Mm-hmm.
his son's name is Tanner. Iceman says, "How are you doing, D and Joe?" I'm doing fantastic because this is right where I want to be.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I really am. We're about to have some fun doing this sketch for Pop Smitty, and I'm gonna take it to completion on live. So we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna clean it up, and then we're going to add some more texture and stuff, and then we're going to color it and do the whole thing. You know. Deviant Apple's live.
So all I can find about the sword, the only thing that even comes close to like it's because it doesn't really it says it doesn't have any specific powers or anything like that, but it says the sword was forged using deep magic, and so it is the act of cutting given form.
It's the what?
The act of cutting given form.
Giving form?
Given form. So basically, it's just like the thought of like, oh, I'm going to go cut something down. Just the thought of cutting something down, you've actually given it, you know, like a material presence.
Oh.
Spangler's here. Holy moly. Everybody, they love your show, dude. They love your show.
I think they usually come to see how long it's going to take for you to drop the ball.
Oh, well, I already did earlier. So
Yeah.
too late.
They be having like running bets and stuff like 10 minutes into showtime. Yeah. 10 minutes into showtime, he's gonna say something that'll get them canceled. I'll see that bet and raise you 5.
Yeah.
How many of you pay your rent waiting for Joe? No, I'm just He said, I don't have to work or sell art. I just visit Dee's show and see what happens.
Oh, no kidding, right?
Yeah.
Spangler says, we just left my daughter's softball game.
Oh, nice. Did we win or what?
Yeah, did we win? That's a good question. Yeah, he's win, obviously. Yeah. What position does your daughter play? Win and win. Nice. So back to back. Wherever they tell her to stand, absolutely. That was always my favorite position too. So you can't let the grass grow underneath your feet. You're always got to be moving.
Yeah.
I remember, like after I had like my second knee surgery, I had a buddy of mine say, "Hey Joe, you want to go out and play some softball with us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to because I got to get out and try to move with my knee and stuff like that." And I remember going out there and playing the outfield just to try to move around. And I came in after some practice, and my son was like, "Dad, you start off real good, but then you get real slow." It's like, "Hey, thanks a lot." Outfield where the dandelions grow. Yep.
So I see he's got some like wing things on the side here that I gotta make sure that I add.
So Joseph says that her brother used to play with the dandelions and chase butterflies.
That sounds like a whole different game right there.
No kidding. Spangler says that his daughter pitched last year, but then said, "Screw that." I had never cared to pitch, so.
I might have to play some music with you being all quiet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of running on empty a little bit today. I'm a little tired.
Are you?
A little bit. I did not sleep well last night, so I was up most of the night.
Were you?
Yeah, I mean, like right after you and I finished, I went right to bed, but then I was up by like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep after that because I had too much stuff going on. But even with all that, I still had a really good day at work. So.
Oh, that's good. That's better than what you normally say. Like you be upset.
Yeah. Well, Spangler Creation says, "What are you working on?"
So this guy is called White Sword. Um, and he's a request for Pop Smitty.
He's an X-Men character, kind of. No, not technically an X-Men, but he was in the X-Men books. So, and he says nice. So yeah, he's kind of an interesting character. He's a Omega powered, mutant. I know that. So
He's Omega level.
yeah, I pretty much think like just about everybody that came out of like that alternate dimension or whatever it is, that alternate reality. With all of the other like Apocalypse's wife and stuff like that. Whenever it's like, does he have a sword? Yeah, he has the sword of purity, and that's why his name is White Sword. Pretty much like, that's where Iska came from. Was like that same group. Everybody came out of there was like stupid powerful.
Yeah, you were telling me.
Yes, the sword is white. Hence the name. Cool. Absolutely.
Right now, I'm really just trying to like build build them up.
Yep, I get you.
Okay.
No, I mean, I saw you do your sketch, and then you kind of like take your sketch and kind of like fade it out a little bit, but then you come back over and go over the sketch and try to keep the lines that you want to keep.
Yeah.
As it says, this is only the 5th time drawing for him. LOL. Oh yeah, he's
For
dealing with that.
for Pop Smitty.
Yeah, well, no, what Joseph is saying is like you've already taken like 2 of the sketches and like let's get rid of that one. So that's what I'm saying. This is only the 5th time of you drawing the character.
And then it's gonna happen again because I'm a I'm gonna go back and I have to ink it, you know.
Yep.
But it's all good. Bless you. It's all good because I love it. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy that I get an opportunity to make something.
Absolutely, dude. I totally feel it.
So let's see if I can get this positioned. I hope that reads like a sword. Does that read right? Maybe it will after I like put some of this.
Yeah, once you put some other stuff going on in there, you'll be able to it'll probably look better. I mean, you're like, it looks good now, but I meant like it'll look like more like a sword, like what you're saying. Yeah. So,
Smitty, do you have any other like dare I say like requests or anything before I get too far?
Papa CXS Creation says, "What's up, fam?"
What's up? What's up? You see us, we're doing a sketch right here for one of my boys. Pop Smitty, he's in the room right now watching.
Yeah.
And
Says just the shadow behind his head.
oh, I mean shadows, that's I need you to be serious right now. We ain't even finished with the sketch. You talk about shadows, homie. But no, but all jokes aside, I mean, as far as this goes, like, is that looking all right?
Other than the that, it's fine. I love it.
Other than the what?
He says, other than the that, it's fine. I love it. So other than the shadow missing behind his head, he loves it.
Okay.
I know you said it wrong, but that's all right, Pops. Maybe that's why we love you. I can hear my mom yelling at her dog downstairs.
You're like, this damn dog.
She's got this puppy, and it's the devil. So, Joseph says Joe is on fire tonight. No, Joe's kind of tired tonight, so Joe's definitely not on fire. Joe feels like he's letting everybody down.
Not everybody, just me.
Ah. Amithka, welcome in.
Welcome
Joseph
in,
says,
and thank you.
Joseph says, burn.
Hey, Smitty, just so you know, I think I might take like a few different liberties on this piece, if I may. Like, I'm a still do the stuff. You know, he's still gonna look like the character. I hope.
He says, do your thing.
No, because when I tried to do my thing, you said I don't like it. I'm just messing with you.
LOL.
No, seriously, I am just playing with you though. Like, I'm glad you told me before we got too far. So we have a few things that we're going to be doing, Joe. I'm gonna be doing a Vegeta for Spengler.
Okay.
We're gonna be doing that this week. I might actually be doing the sketch for that tonight. Also, I gotta show you just a second, Pop. I gotta show you the flats. So I'm changing this. I'm gonna make them more pink. I was playing with some colors, but I was getting some flats done for Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, I think the pink would look better since he's supposed to be actually like an earthworm.
Yeah,
that orange almost makes him look like more like a crustacean or something.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be pink. I'm glad you just repeated what I said. Oh yeah, I want to make him more pink. Oh, you know what? You should make him more pink. Wow.
You're correct. You should. Joseph says, hey, Graves, with the other yellow Swamp Thing blank, could you do another sick-ass Swamp Thing and then in front of him have John Constantine?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Now, which version of Constantine? And Joseph says, why, Joe? I'm just curious which version, you know? Superior Creations, welcome in.
I think I'm gonna have his eyes just kind of. Maybe I want to bring this up a little bit. And change the shadow up a little bit. Did you kick her?
Man, all I did was push her button. She got dramatic.
I'm gonna call them people on you.
Slid because of the grease.
She slid because of the grease.
Yeah.
Joseph says, the cover they're asking you to do is a facsimile of the first appearance. Definitely what John has sick ass as Swamp Thing.
Okay.
And then whatever hit the ground, Joseph said, "Man down."
There's my dog. You know, the troublemakers that you guys hear me fussing about all the time.
Yep, the one you got to break out the voice for.
Yeah, daggone dogs. Look, she over there. There's still some things I gotta fix, but it's coming along. Joe, I need you
Yes,
to tell me what it was you were about to complain about when I like had 2 seconds on the sketch.
it was the previous sketch, so don't worry about it.
And
No, get out. Out. Get out of here.
Sorry, I was responding to somebody over on the YouTubes. So
what did they say?
they were asking what the symbol on their chest, on his chest armor meant.
What does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything. It's just something there that kind of just be stylish and break up the monotony of having nothing on his chest. He says, "Who is he drawing now?" And Joseph says, "Same thing all night." So the same thing he was drawing earlier, Huff. It's just Papa Smitty just sat there and said, "Get that garbage out of here."
Yeah, you call yourself an artist? More. I want more. More what? More. Oh, what do you want more of? I want more, damn it.
All of it.
Yeah. He said, I want you to start over, and this time, don't make it like crap.
Well, Huff says, "I see the iPad's not broken."
Not yet. Not yet.
Huff, he says, "I've been surfing and whatnot, so I don't know what he's been drawing."
Huff basically said, I'm not going to sit here and watch this the whole time.
Healy Kyle, welcome in.
Welcome.
Huff says, "Trying to win you guys on all these other shows." Oh, win the gibbies on all these other shows, yeah.
So do I. I don't
tell you
ever
what,
win, though.
I won one
You keep
accidentally.
mentioning it. You keep. This is like the 8th time you mentioned how you won on freaking Jeffrey's thing, and then you felt bad, so you tipped him like $100. We know,
No,
Joe.
I didn't give him $100.
We know, Joe. Okay,
I didn't give him $100.
it wasn't 100.
No, it was not 100. It was $10.
Oh, you're cheap.
Well, it's all I had in my bank at the time.
I thought it was $100. I was about
Crazy.
to say, damn, Joe.
No
Oh,
shit,
speaking
right?
of Joe, um, I'm going to be going back to your commission as well, buddy.
Oh, well, take your time, man. So,
Every
let's
time I
see.
tell my wife that, she's like, "No, get his stuff done now." So she's looking out for you, honestly.
Yes, Joe said Joe won on Jeffrey's show. I was super excited. So yeah, I won a comic book that he had just did the cover on for somebody, and so that's now part of my comic book collection.
I don't think you should have won, to be honest with you.
Well, that's why I felt bad, because I was just like, oh boy, I'll give him something for it. I was just saying here, Joe, I won the Fire Hair comic. So I forget the name of this comic one that I bought that I won, but it's got like some like a killer whale kind of guy on it. So, but again, it's Geoffrey's artwork. It looks amazing, but it's all professionally done and colored and printed, and there's stuff on the. Oh, I think it's called Apex. I think it's called Apex. Cervantes just joined and immediately shared your live stream.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the share. We are working on a commission for my buddy, Papa Smitty, and I think I need to make this just a little higher. And it's going well. Let's black this out. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Papa Smitty says it's got 5 fires.
Now they're on to the games you play, so I can't even
That's
take
correct.
some of their fires serious. Because if he were to just do a normal, he probably would have put like 2 or 3. But since
Yeah, but
you've been,
that's not good enough.
yeah. So I guess I should thank you a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta call it out when you see it. Papa says he loves the face shadow, and then Huff said he said professionally done. So Graves isn't a professional. Bad Joe, bad Joe. No, I meant the comic that I had won from Geoffrey. It was professionally printed comic book, and his artwork was like mass produced on like this cover and stuff like that. I just thought it was really cool. No, everything that D does is professional.
They got you backpedaling like a mug right now.
Oh no, I didn't say anything wrong. I'm just being
Okay.
misinterpreted.
You're a victim.
What I really meant to say was,
He's like, since y'all got so much to say,
yep.
you go ahead and start telling the truth over here.
Happy opposite day, Cervantes. Yeah, my son was kind of in here, and he was asking me. He's like, "Dad, why do all these other artists and stuff like that buy art from other artists?" I'm like, I don't even understand how that's a question.
Because their art is dope, and then it feels good when someone buys your stuff, and I feel
Yeah,
like no one knows that better than an artist.
absolutely. And I told him, I said, sometimes CK, I said, you'll see something that like another artist is doing a rendition of. And I mean, you'll see 2 or 3 artists, and each one is styled so differently that it's just, each one is breathtaking and amazing in its own way. So, and yeah, Hope says it's supporting your friends and other killer artists 100%. Yeah, it's letting them know, like, man, I believe in what you're doing, you know?
Let me take a second and look at this and see. Hmm.
Yeah, I've been kind of doing something similar to like what you just did. Was I will use my phone on some of these larger pieces, and I'll take a picture of it so that I can look at it all like a little bit smaller, so I can kind of say how's that working together.
Hmm. Good thing is, when you're working on the iPad, you can do this.
Yeah.
So I could be super zoomed in on this, and I can make this small, like a thumbnail, and it gives me the overall picture, and I can kind of see like, okay, I want some shadow here.
Right.
Is anyone working on any cool pictures or projects for this month?
Or next month, because this month is almost over. It's got like less than a week.
This is true. This is true.
I think Ellie said that they were getting stuff together like for their raid or something like that, and Ellie actually just said, "Nope, I'm behind for the next 3 months."
No. Lies and deception.
No kidding. Miss like I'm selling 500 things in a year. And he says, "Nah, I got a shit ton of cards I need to do." Obviously, he says, "I'm working on raid stuff as we speak."
Yeah.
Yeah, when I get home from work, I usually try to do like what I got to do with the family, like cook dinner and stuff like that and take care of that. But usually, like before you and I get on and stream together, I usually have like an hour. I try to cram as much drawing as I can in at that time, and then after, usually I just go to bed after our stream.
Do you want to stream tomorrow too, or do you want to take a day off?
That's up to you, dude.
I'm good. I'm down, bro.
And if you wanna stream, we can stream.
All right.
So I absolutely said, earlier this week, I said, like whichever days you want to stream because you got this week off. I will make sure that I accommodate it for you. I know my son though. He's like, "Oh, Dad, when are we gonna watch Daredevil?" It's like, Sunday.
Say we're not, child.
Snake Harris, welcome in.
Snake. Hey, how was your show, bro? I saw that you were live.
Yeah, just before this, before I got on here with you, I was in his stream for just a moment.
I wanted to be there, but I was working on a sketch. I think my perspective on that circle was off.
Medusa showed up.
What up, Dusa?
Says hola.
Hola. How's your streams been going? She's been selling comic books. Are you selling like your own personal collection, or are you a seller, a retailer, or what? I've always wondered, and I never got a chance to ask in the show.
Medusa says, "How are you, gentlemen?"
Doing well.
I'm guessing she's probably talking to you, so the gentleman. So. Oh, Medusa says both of you. I'm doing pretty decent. I'm actually having a better than average day. Spending my time here with Dee. I like being on here with Whatnot with them. Ellen says, that's an odd thing to call either of them. Yeah. Well, Dee's definitely a gentleman. I've rarely been called such.
Huh.
Medusa says, well, I've always been odd and proud of it. You're in the right stream then. So what's going on in the background behind you?
Cooking.
What I thought. That's what that. I was sitting there. I'm like, either you got a crazy fan or somebody's cooking bacon or something. So,
No, she's cooking burgers.
oh man.
Yeah.
Ellie says, I'm a lurk.
You're what?
She says, I'm a lurk.
She's lurking.
Yeah.
Lurking means you're looking from a distance. You just
But not interacting.
watching. Yeah, you're just watching. And
Medusa says, so to answer your question, LOL, I sometimes buy to resale, but I also pull from my PC personal collection.
yeah. That's cool. Do you get back what you like, what you want?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it even remotely profitable to buy, buy in bulk, or I guess it depends on like if you can get something from like an estate sale or something like that. So some people don't really know what they got, so you can get rid of that stuff, easy and buy it cheap. I know a couple comic book places around here that have been doing stuff like that lately, but I guess it just depends on like how well the stuff's taken care of and if they actually have anything worthwhile.
Right. Oh, question for Smitty. Did you sell your Hulk?
And Medusa says very true. And he says Hulk ?
Yeah, when you bought the pack from Hulk, did you sell anything? Red
Oh,
Hulk. Red Hulk.
yeah, the Red Hulk that came like in the packs.
I know you said you had them listed for like 200.
He says no. I'm gonna slab them first.
Uh,
Yeah, I was listening to some of Kay's cast this morning when I was at work for like 10 minutes when I was taking a break, and I know she was talking about like how slow like the postal services for her to get stuff here in the States now. So it's pretty ridiculous. Papa said they were listed for that on eBay, but I never put mine up for sale.
yeah. Oh, got you. Got you.
Let's see. Papa Smitty says maggot next D.
I'm all for it, bro. You let me know who you want, and I'll make it so.
Now,
You know?
were you doing the mag? Oh, because you already, you got maggots, and then we're gonna have to write this down because I said you also got like a swamp thing to do with Constantine on it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you guys. So Smitty, he already texted me like we already have a message with all his requests, and he updates me after each one is done. But for the swamp thing, whoever requested that, just message me, or Joe, you message me who it was. That way, I don't mix up, and we can get that done.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I do know Maggot, Papa Smitty. I know he was like a member of the X-Men there for a while. So I know he's different. That much I'll say. Tempo. Oh yeah, Tempo. I remember. Wasn't Tempo one of those ones that was created by Liefeld as well? Like way back in like the New Mutants. Originally, I should say. Yeah, I think so too. I remember originally I thought the costume that like she was in was trash, but so I think somebody else came in and like updated it and made it better.
Joe, look how this turned around.
I know. That's why I stopped talking because I was just like, I told you I was going to let it sit there and marinate for a while. I have no idea who asked about this whole thing.
I feel like it was Joseph.
It may have been Joseph that asked about it.
Because I feel like he messaged me when I was doing the swamp thing to begin with. I think so.
Well, I'll write it down right now for myself, so I can make sure that I try to look on it.
Yeah. You have to have John, so it's Joseph.
Okay.
All right, so his skin is blue.
Yep.
This is all
and
white.
That's what Papa Smitty's waiting for, is that blue skin.
We almost there. I have a few
Papa
more.
says, I picked up a Swamp Thing blank also and a few Batman blanks.
Do you need to go outside or what? What's the issue?
No, I'm all right for right now.
She's hungry? They ain't got no food.
Ellie says she'll be right back. And Joseph says, love the Swamp Thing.
Thank you.
Joseph, who's your favorite Swamp Thing artist? And don't say D. Graves, he doesn't count.
Why not?
Because I meant like in the actual comic books. I'm just kind of curious. Lemire, okay.
You're so disrespectful, Joe.
No. I didn't mean that as a disrespectful.
You're so rude. and you don't even know it.
No, I was kind of curious because sometimes you'll see art from like when you're younger on certain characters, and that's what drives, brings you in. So that's what I was kind of curious. Welcome in, Curse Bananas. Joseph says New 52 is my favorite run. My favorite Swamp Thing artist was definitely Bernie Wrightston, way back in like the early 80s, late 70s. Bernie Wrightston just definitely had a different kind of art style that I really, really enjoyed. Joseph says his are really different, which is so cool. Yeah, his stuff. He really excelled at drawing like monsters and stuff like that. Just drawing like normal superheroes was not in his wheelhouse at all. So, and like when he would draw like normal superheroes, they always looked kind of a little off, like his anatomy and stuff like that, which was perfectly fine. But as a monster artist, it was hard to like not sit there and say he was one of the best. Joseph says Maria Wolf is also so unique, and I love her stuff. Yeah. Dan the Poopy Man, welcome in.
Thank you for being here, brother. All right. I think this is looking good from where we started, huh?
Yeah. Papa Smitty said, yep.
Technically, I have the lighting coming from the top right over. So shouldn't I move this shadow over here?
Yes, you should.
Yeah, I think I will.
Sounds like your dog's still in the water again.
Yeah, he is. He always that'd be the first thing that he do when he come inside. Like it's at this point he don't even be thirsty, it just be
Habit.
Yeah, it's just a habit.
And May as well, welcome in. On that side where you've got like that part of the sword, like how his sword has like that black piece at the base. I would say, and this is just me saying, you don't have to do it, obviously. I would do like just like a small portion of that just to kind of, break it up.
Yep.
But that's me.
It is.
You do you, man. That's Pop Smitty's want you to do this, not me.
Exactly. You remember
Which
that.
I would rather you be doing it too.
Huh?
I said I would rather you be doing it too. I think about you guys like drawing on tablets and stuff like this, and I look at it and I'm like, man, go back 30 years and this is like Star Trek Next Generation stuff.
Yeah. So my first intro to digital drawing was on a like 4x6 Wacom, right? Just enough to
Right.
really like put your signature on there or whatever. And I was drawing on that, and I was using Photoshop to draw on it. My homeboy had that, and he introduced me to it, and I was like, oh man, this is hard to like grasp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I that's when I really knew that I hated the disconnect that was on the
On the
Wacom.
Wacom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I could do the Wacom, like the disconnect, trying to like put my hand in front of me, but like look up at a screen.
yeah,
And it just doesn't seem like it would be right for me.
it's definitely difficult for me.
Ellie says, I'm back, LOL.
Dang, you've been gone this whole time, B.
This whole time. And she said, oh, shush it.
At least you're seeing something worth looking at now.
Yeah.
This thing isn't gonna be exact, Smitty. And this is what I was telling you even on the other one. Like I'll put the shapes and I'll imply it or whatever, but come on.
Ellie's making threats now.
Threaten? Yo, you threaten? You threatening Joe?
She says, don't make me leave and not come back.
You wouldn't dare.
Papa Smitty says, do your thing.
No, but seriously, is that okay?
Ellie says, no, I wouldn't. I'm nice and I actually enjoy talking to y'all.
Good.
You know, and that's honestly, Ellie, why I stick around. I keep hoping that maybe one of these days I'm gonna win D over.
What?
One of these days.
Win me over.
Ugh. Ellie's got laughing emojis. So, Papa Smitty, out of all these characters you're asking D to do for you and stuff like that, not necessarily out of all of the ones that he's currently doing, who are you like your all time favorite characters? Bishop, Storm, and Panther. Okay. Have you ever heard of an older DC character by the name of Amazing Man? I can see the plan now. Let's see, but I like the obscure characters. Ellie says, I just had a funny thought, do an Easter egg Mew on the Harley cover.
Huh.
She said we can have it, like cost too much just about. I said let's live lavish.
All right. What do you think? You think we need to do some inking now?
He says, yeah, ink. Yeah, Father Committee, I always liked Amazing Man. He's like part of that All-Star Squadron books and stuff like that I've been trying to go back and re-get. Characters that I was trying to introduce some like Commander Steel and like those characters to D for a while. But Amazing Man, I always thought he was super cool. And I know he always kind of reminded me of like Wonder Man in a way, where like he was given powers by the bad guys to use against the good guys, but then he eventually became a good guy. But I'm like, man, you look at his costume, he was always meant to be a good guy. You heard of Dr. Mist? Yeah, Dr. Mist, absolutely. Like I said, I love like all those old characters and stuff like that. Those guys are dope. You know that maybe that's a drawing I'll do like one of these days when I get a free minute. I'll do like an Alan Scott with Jade and Obsidian. I think that'd be kind of cool.
What was that? What was that laugh for though?
Just the idea of getting some free time.
Minute, right?
Yeah, that's what that was for. Just realizing like yeah. Baby, where you been? I do not care. I swear that we going everywhere. Big fan of Gentle from the X-Men also.
Who is that?
He's a mutant character with the X-Men, so that much I know. I'm looking at him right now, and I can't tell you I recognize him. I mean, I recognize him, but I don't really know much about him. So let's see what I can find. Let's see. He's Thomas May says, I thought you'd never ask. He's Wakandan Russian mixed. His name is Nezhino. Has the ability to temporarily increase his muscle mass on his body to extreme levels. He can will himself to immediately grow and strengthen to the extent that he can lift at least 100 tons.
Oh, dang.
However, he cannot sustain this form for long since it causes massive strain on his body and leads to seizures. So,
actually, I feel like me and Smitty talked about that. I feel like he might have mentioned that before.
Yeah, Smitty says he's basically the Hulk and passes out. So he says that he has vibranium tattoos adorning his body that helps keep him in check. But Nezhino eventually indicated that his powers may kill him. When his powers are in use, his vibranium tattoos glow. These tattoos are all actually vibranium-based paint that are intended to be fused with his skin. Jean Grey unlocked the hitch with his powers. Unlocked the hitch, huh? So now he doesn't pass out? Oh. I can't tell you that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes I feel like characters need to have a flaw in their abilities, otherwise they just kind of, they just need to have a drawback,
Yeah. They can't be too powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, because who's going to beat them? I mean, they do the same thing with Wanda, but she's kind of mental. So, she's got, that's like her default. Well, not default, but her shortcoming.
Her hang-up.
Yeah. She's got mental issues.
Can you draw Lucan? Lucian? Lucan. Who are we talking Lucan? I see the name Lucian, and I'm thinking like from Underworld.
That's what I would think.
From Invincible to Viltrumite. I don't know. I'd have to look him up. I'll be honest with you. I can't imagine not, but let me look him up here after a while. Sorry, I got some Copics on my fingers. I'm washing my fingers off with some rubbing alcohol at the moment, so. I had ordered some refill, and they came in the mail a little bit early, so I was pulling up my 2 markers that I was going to draw on Saturday.
Bro, before the show, like I said, I put in those new ink cartridges in my printer.
Right.
And it got all over my hand.
Dude, I think there's something wrong with that because those ink cartridges are usually supposed to be sealed. So I don't.
They're sealed, but when you pull off the orange thing at the bottom,
right,
that's where it got on my hand.
No, I think I agree with you that. Oh yeah, I see the Lucan. So yeah, you're right. I've seen him like pudgy, and I'm like, why is he fat? So that's. He can be fun to draw.
It's too sketchy.
Yeah, there's an Invincible video game that's out there that you can play on your phone, Papa Smitty, and they do Lucian. I'm gonna say Lucan just so I don't mix him up with the Underworld character. They do him like with a portly gut as well. So. Yeah, I agree. Some of the stuff that's in that game is kind of really nice, but some of the characters, it's like they follow suit. It's just like some of the other video games that I've seen that you can play on your phone, like for like the Marvel and stuff like that. They follow suit with whatever's Disney's doing, not with what's in the books. And so sometimes you don't get the best version of the characters that are out there. Yeah, when I saw Lucan in the comic books, he's very Luke Cage like. And Papa Billy says, "What is that song, D?"
I Can by Staringo. Starringo. Staringo.
He says nice.
Oh man, how's this looking?
The black is really like making the blue pop out, so I can't wait to see like him with actual blue skin. And even Papa Smitty says nice. Yeah, you know what? Tell your wife I said like don't worry about that commission for me yet. Make sure everybody else is taken care of first.
Yeah, no, she knows, but she said,
yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm happy to wait. And trust me, I know what it's like to have people like wanting their stuff. I totally get it. Papa Smitty's been cool with you, and everybody else is too. I would definitely just put them at the front of the line.
I want to hurry up with this, but I don't want to. And the only reason why I say hurry up is because I know your time is.
Yeah, I got about 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, the good news is I can always just text Smitty what the colors look like after we get off.
Papa says, D, I probably asked before, but you ever done storyboards?
I haven't. I haven't. It's something that I looked into, but I haven't actually done them yet. Definitely something I'm interested in.
No, I've never done a storyboard. I don't think I've ever had a reason to. Yeah, I've never really been able to write stories, and I've never been around people that actually write stories, so nobody's ever approached me with anything like that, and I've never had a reason to do it on my own. You don't want to do your own comic? I did when I was younger, but the problem is I'm not a writer. I mean, you get some of these really great prolific writers that are out there, and they have a way of being able to set things in motion that are like, the good ones, like 5, 10, 15, sometimes 50 issues into the future, they pay off. I don't think I have like that kind of mentality.
Oh, how's that looking?
So far, so good, man. I think it looks really, really good.
I'm thinking so.
I mean, I've always done like my own characters, and I have my own characters, but I don't have a story that would really, yeah, I just don't. So.
That's some reflections that I'm.
Obviously, when he says same as before, I'm gonna need a rough sketch. It's possible.
Always. This is gonna have a lot more dark, like shadows, because I'm just liking the way I was playing with the shadows.
Right.
So the extreme darks, I think, are gonna be popping on this.
I think so too.
Like how majority of him is gonna be in shadow.
Walked in the label and gave him 2 weeks notice. Yeah, looked at me back and they told me to stay focused. You take flight if it works. Just go write a new verse. We gon' make it together. We all right on the verge. No, y'all flipping my feathers. I try to fly and it hurts. Tell me change for the money. I'd rather lie in the dirt. I go pop in my verse. You applaud in my verse. I put God in my verse. You don't nod in my verse. I was silent at first. I would lie in my bed. I didn't get any sleep. I was on in my head. They think the only way to sell out is through cursing and sex. You could sell out screaming Jesus while securing the check. Used to chase the ticket sales, I can't do it no more. What good is selling out the show if you selling your soul? But I'm still selling out the show because the fans want the real. I had to say what I feel, I had to get out the deal. Look, walked in the label and gave him 2 weeks notice. Yeah, looked at me back and they told me do stay focused. You take flight if it works, just go write a new verse. We gon' make it together, we all right on the verge. Okay now.
Alright.
Oh yeah, like a cheat thing on there for the circles.
Yeah.
It's pretty clever.
Yeah. It's definitely helpful because if you need to make some perfect circles, or actually any shape, to be honest with you, it's called quick shape. So you can do it with triangles, you can do it with squares, you can do it with all of it.
Yeah, that circle thing, that'd be super helpful with doing havoc.
Yeah.
I could tell he didn't sleep, cause his eyes were all red. He think I wanted to sell out to put a plaque on the shelf. He don't know that if I could, I would just back him myself. So I backpedaled and told him that the fact that he's vegan makes sense to me, and we don't want him to feel trapped. Our intent was to grow the brand, but in the event that we actually didn't, he should go and be free. He told me
we're almost done, Joe.
Okay.
It's instant, just gotta keep on. You can keep soon. You can keep this.
I want to make that closer.
Life costs too much just a bounce. I said let's live lavish. God put it all on the house, yeah. Hey, dinner overseas, I'ma need that. Hey, money get the credit, I'ma need that. Hey, summertime rain, you gon' see that. I'ma need that. We gon' take it through the roof. Yeah, living in the shade ain't the way to do. Yeah, life do change, I'm the living proof. Yeah, my God reigns and you coming soon. And I'll never treat my teeth for that on you.
I think I'm gonna make this all dark. You can see everything, all right, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. Pop Smitty says same as before. I'm gonna need. Okay, yeah. Sorry. My screen changed on the side. I didn't realize it was just. It got rid of like who had just walked in.
She said we can't have it. Life costs too much just a bounce. I said let's live lavish. God put it all on the house, yeah. Dinner overseas, I'ma need that. Ay, mommy, get together, I'ma need that. Ay, summertime rain, you gon' see that. God put it all on the house, yeah. Dinner overseas, I'ma need that. Ay, mommy, get together, I'ma need that. Ay, summertime rain, you gon' see that. I'ma need that. Baby, where you been? I do not care. I swear that we going everywhere. Baby, where you been? I do not care. I swear that we going everywhere.
Joe.
Yes. Alpha Ghost, welcome in.
Look at this.
Sound like you scared Joe a little, is what Ellie said. No, he didn't scare me, but he got my attention, that's for sure.
That's right.
I know it's because I was too quiet for too long. Which is normally what he's asking me to do anyway, but...
I want you to be quiet when I want you to be quiet.
That's right. Ellie says I need to have someone to talk to when I stream. Everyone in chat never really says anything.
Yeah, it's helpful. That's why I'm grateful for Joe.
Yeah, normally Joe's a little bit more awake and attentive than he is tonight. So, and that's just because I didn't sleep very well last night, but I'll be better tomorrow night.
Excuses.
Ellie says she needs a Joe. Be careful what you wish for.
Right.
Kind of like that monkey's paw. That wish could bite you in the ass. Ellie says I'd probably scare people away. That's what I'm afraid of. So I'm afraid of scaring people away for D.
All right. All right. I gotta do this part right here.
Ellie says, I have a friend I can't put on a speakerphone because we start conversations off in the weirdest ways. You know, that's how Dee and I started. Now look where we're at. And sometimes Dee has to rein me in. I don't know if you've noticed. So.
All right, Joe. All right.
That's right.
All right, buddy. Let's bring it back. But I think that's kind of what makes you you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just sometimes my brain doesn't know when to, like, not fill in the blanks. And Ellie says, but y'all are awesome together.
I agree. I wouldn't want to do a show without you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Trust me, on Saturdays, I don't think I could do a show without you. And I'm happy to, like, not try.
I'm going to see you do a show. Watch. I'm going to be like, wow.
Nope.
Wow, Joe.
That's the thing is because of how my setup is, there's no way I could, like, draw and, like, look at, like, what's happening on the monitor, because the way my monitor is set up, like, near my drawing tables, it's actually almost it's to the right and behind my drawing table. So it's not where I can just, like, literally look at it and, you know, be happy with it. Especially now that I'm using my phone, like when I'm doing the actual, what do you call it, the stream. So I can't look at that. So.
Dang, look at this.
Yep.
All right. I need to be on this.
Let me talk to him. You know, when they say that they die every day, they got stuck when I made me awake.
All right, so his skin is blue.
Yep.
And everything else is silver.
Tell me whatever, just don't tell a lot of me. You should be proud of me. I'm doing music and not doing robberies. Thank God for hiding me. When you know it's special, nobody else gotta see. I'm enjoying this privacy. Speak on that pain, cause I got a lot of need. I can't lie. Some nights I cry. You cry. Can't question God. I'm still alive. They look surprised. I gotta make it some way. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. You know I can.
All that other stuff is going to be black.
Right.
So. This makes me want to draw Goliath. You know I got the gargoyles.
I know, dude. Trust me, gargoyles are dope. I remember watching that one. I used to work at a group home for mentally handicapped adults, and whenever we were getting them ready in the morning, that was their show. and so we would all sit down like when they're eating breakfast, and we would always watch that with them. That show was great. Peter David doing the voice of Goliath, man, he was perfect.
Yeah, he was.
Could not have been better cast. And then, of course, when I sit there and think about that, I think about him in Armageddon. You know, when he's just like, I wouldn't trust these retards with a potato gun. So
yeah. Wasn't he also Spawn?
Yes, he was.
In the animated series?
On HBO, absolutely he was. So let's see, Ellie says I'm trying to get a friend of mine in here, but he's being an a-hole about it.
Huh.
It sounds like you got your own Joe there.
What do you feel about that blue? Should I go lighter?
I would go lighter, especially the fact that, like, if you put black in on there, that black is going to be, it's going to make that blue look really dark. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Ellie says I do, but our conversations would probably get me in trouble. You know, Ellie, obviously you haven't listened to some of the stuff I talk about. He reminds me on the daily that I'm going to get him canceled. And I try not to, but sometimes I just say things because I'm curious about them.
He said, sometimes I just say things because I really don't care.
It's not that I don't care. It's just...
Pop Smitty.
I think your stuff will be all right. Oh, Papa Smitty said, "What's up?"
What are your thoughts?
Ellie, I think your conversations will probably be fine. I mean, worst case scenario is just put a disclaimer on your so in case like you guys talk about explicit stuff accidentally, you know, or you know whatever. I guess.
Ellie doesn't even seem like the type that be talking like that. What'd you be talking about, Ellie?
Right? Ellie says mine always has that turned on. I cuss a lot.
You curse.
She's foul mouth, foul, filth, and foul.
Shame on you. You're a lady.
I'm thinking Papa didn't really actually hear what you had asked him, but Papa Smitty, he was asking, like, what do you think about this blue that he's putting down? Papa Smitty says, I think it's fine.
Fine? We don't do fines over here. What's wrong
with it?
Dude,
I'm going to tell you straight up, I hate that word. That is a 4-letter F word right there.
Just like I hate the word sure. I know sure just means like yes, okay. But I mean, sure just doesn't seem like something you want to do. Sure. I guess so. You say sure to me a lot.
I do?
You do.
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah, you do. I hate short.
Well, I'll try to be mindful of that in the future.
It's like either yes or no. Sure is like sure, I guess.
Sure, I think sure is I'm ambivalent to it, so whichever way floats your boat.
I know, but I don't like it.
Bob's when he says I like it.
Thank you, Pop Smitty. I'm just kind of rushing through it right now because I know Joe's time is up.
I tried to use one of my big words while Papa Smitty was still here. I used that term ambivalent and just saying, hey, I didn't care one way or the other.
Yeah.
I know he's a connoisseur of the English language.
Uh-huh.
Weston Sunflower, welcome in.
Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Look at that. He's gonna be a lot of black.
Papa Smitty says, yeah, take your time on this. It's going on my wall after storm in Iska.
Nice. I don't think I ever rush to where it like looks crappy or anything, but
I hate rushing through stuff. I feel like, like honestly, if I draw something in 2 hours, it looks like it took me 2 hours to draw it,
Yeah.
And I get self-conscious when like that happens.
Yeah.
Ellie says, get your out. She's talking to, I'm not going to repeat all
that. She said, I'll curse all I want.
You are correct.
I love it. Boss, water.
Hey, yes, Les K actually showed up. Yeah, he's laughing because he says twat is crazy.
Yeah, for real. I wasn't expecting that. Ellie's
trying to get Deathless and let him know that this is what they're supposed to be doing. Having a conversation so that like one person can read what like everybody's typing so that you don't have to take your eyes off of the conversation or off your artwork.
Yeah. He said, no, I'm not doing that.
Ellie's like, I don't care. It's a portable phone. And Jess is like, I was making food. This is really rock. This that 2.0. Call me Dylan. Baby girl, she grabbed my hand and tell me that I'm rapper. He also says this guy's looking a little blue.
Just a little bit. I'm gonna put some shading and stuff all on him. Right now, I'm just cutting in the blacks that I want.
Close my lips, audible silence. Let him make the beat, then he hit my burner. I told him repent, that's a bloody murder. Yeah, time in 2020, keep it to a murmur. I got a DM from my little baby, didn't have the curve. Yeah, look, diamonds look like bars, and they dancing on their hand. That's a Millie Rock.
Jacob JC, welcome in.
Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. I been dipping my hands in the rosary. If I go and get a hold of me, rapping, I feel like it's bottom me.
I want to make this all black right here, but I wonder if that's going to be too dark. And if I approach this all wrong. You know, when you do the sketch and you're just going free with it, it looks all nice and good. But then when you're trying to do inks or whatever serious.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, the inks look great. And then sometimes colors can kind of screw it up. But, you won't know until, like Papa Smitty just said, try it. Until you sit there and you're like, I got to modify this or change this or whatever. But that's the nice thing about doing it on digital. It's not like you got to start all over from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got bills I gotta pay. Look how long I had to wait. Mama
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So the rest of this is going to be finished off stream. We're going to be ending the stream right here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream so far and watching the process.
Elite Stock has joined. Welcome in, Elite.
Welcome in. I hope you guys liked how we built this up from nothing to something. I'm not gonna lie, it's always good when you're able to draw like live. That way people know like, oh wow, you can draw, you know? Even if it takes you a while to get there, like you can do it. Because I feel like this was actually looking pretty dope.
And then Ellie says after you restarted 5 times. Kidding.
Right?
Well, if it's any consolation, Ellie, that wasn't because he wanted to restart 5 times. Sometimes this is the quandary that you have when you're stuck with a commission. You want to make sure the customer is happy with the product that they're going to be getting. Papa Smitty says, take care, fellas and ladies. God bless you all. Hit me up, D and Joe, when you guys get free. Absolutely, dude.
Will do, brother.
Worst case scenarios, we'll be on here tomorrow night, too. So, all right?
Yep. We'll be in here. Look, you would restart 8, so hush. That's not the point. Wow. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Let's see if we can create a raid. We got Dev Shogun, Gooby Guts. Let's go ahead and do Gooby because she only got 3 people on there.
There you go.
All right, you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man.
All right, then. Peace.